The UnityWorks School Program is an effort of the UnityWorks Foundation. Part of its mission is to promote understanding of the oneness of humanity, the value of diversity, and the need for unity. We work with K-12 schools, colleges, and community groups to increase equity and reduce prejudice, to promote culturally responsive teaching, to close achievement and opportunity gaps, and to encourage positive multicultural change. Our flagship program began in 2014 in the Yakima School District in Washington State and is now expanding to additional areas around the country. Listen to what teachers and administrators are saying about the program.
The UnityWorks project is a fundamental piece of helping build a better society, in my point of view. To do the projects, to do the thinking, to do the creative work that builds peace is really important to start in childhood. It's important to do this work with kids. It's also important to do this work with adults that are working in schools.
I think UnityWorks is an opportunity for us to begin relating to each other, not as the categories that we represent, such as which race we are, what our socioeconomic status is, whether or not we're male or female, anything like that, but rather as people who all have hopes and dreams of somehow living a better life and having that life being possible for our children and our community.
It's a way of us validating every single student we serve, despite what their ethnicity or their upbringing may be. I think it's an inclusionary program that just makes me as a teacher feel good, even about myself, teaching them Black history or other kinds of just knowledge of how our world works and all the people and the cultures that have come to build our world.
Part of our jobs as teachers and educators is to tell them that there really is only one human race. And we have lots of cultures, but we really have only one human race. And that's why I think UnityWorks is so vital for our community and other communities in our world.
There's a proverb, African proverb, that says if you want to go fast, you go alone, and if you want to go far, you go together. And I believe that this is why UnityWorks is important, because we want to go far. And in order to do that, we need to work together. And so that's why UnityWorks is important.
Involvement in the program begins with an action-packed 5-day training institute. This interactive training provides educators with the knowledge, tools, strategies, and resources needed to improve school culture and student learning. Training topics include race, gender, culture, the power of language, common stereotypes, overcoming prejudice, creating inclusive classrooms, and much more. The training is practical, hands-on, and a lot of fun. On the final day, site teams composed of teachers, administrators, and community members create a diversity action plan for their school. The UnityWorks program is not a specific curriculum. Rather, it's a set of principles, tools, and resources designed to build capacity at the grassroots, empowering each team to create its own blueprint for change. That plan may look very different in an elementary school, a high school, or a university, and will also depend on local priorities and needs. Where there are a number of UnityWorks teams in one locality, they may wish to hold an annual conference at the end of each school year to share what they have been learning and to evaluate their efforts. At this recent conference in Yakima, we heard from 3 of our newest UnityWorks schools.
After UnityWorks, we came away with the decision that we really wanted to bridge some gaps that we had as far as acceptance. And so one of the things that we learned at UnityWorks was the skin color project, which we really embraced. We have a lot of kids, and had a lot of kids last year that had come off the playground and referred to other students as the black student or the white kid or the brown kid. And we really wanted to give them a better perspective of color and why we are different colors. We bought some multicultural paints, taught our staff how to teach this to their kids, and we came up with our faces, which, as you can see, are not brown or black. They're different colors, they're blended colors, and kids really enjoyed the fact that they could talk to each other and refer to each other as I'm peach, or I'm a different kind of a sienna, or different types of colors, and it was more accepting. And it's been a nice project. We have almost 700 faces in our building up on the walls, and they've been up all year just as a reaffirmation of who we are and what we're doing.
For our first year, we kept it small. We wanted to meet with the principal and share with her all of our learning with the 5 days of training that we had with UnityWorks. And we actually did plan 3 events. The first one was centered around Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. The second was celebrations around the world, where we focused on Kwanzaa, Three Kings, Hanukkah, Chinese New Year, as well as Santa Claus. And then for the final one, we held a multicultural family event. We had our very own Sid John, who's assistant principal over at MLK. He works in the Yakima School District, and he came in his Native American regalia and shared with us dances that meant a lot to him. We had our Baliki steel drum band along with our Baligra steel drum band, which really showed that unity within our diversity, and it got us as close to kind of our ideal, where we got to display and have displayed a lot of things that were important to various cultures, and that people actually got to speak about them, so people actually got to hear about the significance.
Our team focused on our Martin Luther King Jr. Assembly. We felt that we wanted to honor the man that this school is named after, Dr. Martin Luther King, a great man and a great civil rights activist back in the 60s. And we just felt that we needed to bolster our assembly and the recognition that he deserved. So we really focused on a couple things there. One was to have a school-wide assembly, which we did, and it was one of our best assemblies throughout the year. We contacted a great keynote speaker, Mr. Don Davis, a Yakima School Board member. His great-grandfather was one of the original marchers of civil rights back in Washington, D.C., and he himself had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Martin Luther King at his church when he was like 12 years old. So what a great connection that we have here in Yakima, to our school, to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Schools, colleges, and community groups are invited to join the growing UnityWorks network. As educators, we know the statistics on bullying, disproportionate discipline and graduation rates, the effect of teacher expectations on student achievement, and the importance of social-emotional learning. These are challenging issues. Even with the best curriculum and instruction, we won't achieve our academic learning goals without culturally responsive classrooms and safe, inclusive schools. UnityWorks believes that hands-on training, an action plan, and a team approach within a larger network of support are critical for fostering sustainable change. We also asked our partners why they support this effort.
Dr. Gottlieb published a book that we read, which is the UnityWorks Handbook, and we believed in it and believed in the message that it was telling the world. And we think that through education of our children, we can, as she puts it, make a ripple in the world that spreads to all over.
As a school board member, it's important to me to make sure that we have the right policies and things in place to allow for staff and for students to engage in the work that needs to be done to make sure that they all feel safe and they feel secure in their learning within their classrooms. What UnityWorks provides is that safe foundation.
It's really about empowerment of our students, our teachers, and our districts as a whole, allowing them to take really that next action step in their plans around cultural inclusiveness. And that's really important for our foundation, because we understand that our children are going to be our next leaders of our communities in the future.
We'd like to close with a special thank you to our sponsors and many individual donors in this effort. With your help, we are creating schools and classrooms that can become models of hope for the future.